Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about the fact that ESPN has come out with their MVP, Rookie of the Year, and All-Pro votes, and what we thought of it. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so with the notification bell when you do. We're looking for 5,000 subscribers, and we need your help. We're getting close. So, Rob, ESPN has not been generous towards their evaluation of Caitlin Clark throughout the year, although the main culprit is Neil Payne, and I don't even think he has a vote because these three writers indicate they have a vote, and they're the ones that have the summary for the MVP and the Rookie of the Year. So let's put him aside. They've underrated her too, but not to the same extent that Neil Payne did, who had her sixth best rookie and then never had her past second so far this year. These three writers are fairer, although I don't agree with everything they wrote in there. It disturbs me that everyone seems to think, not everyone, it disturbs me that people are saying it should be unanimous that A'ja Wilson should be the MVP, but they don't say the same thing about Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year. So because I think the difference between A'ja Wilson and the second or third for MVP is less than the difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese right now. So they should be saying the same thing if they're going to be saying that. But be that as may, the three writers are. Go ahead, Robert. You want to say something about that?
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah. That seems like that's the format. So we'll see what happens.
Right. So the writers for ESPN are Kevin Pelton, Alexa Filippio, and Michael Vopel. And in this particular case, they indicated they have a vote. That's the impression I got when I'm reading this. And it turns out I thought there was 60, and I've been saying that because that's what I read. They may have increased it this year, Rob, because there's 12 teams, and 12 times 5 is 60. So I thought that made sense. Each city was going to get 5 ballots. Because basically what it says is here, the voting panel comprises of 68 media members at national outlets and within the 12 WNBA markets. Okay. And they're due on Friday. The votes are so I thought it was 60 because that's what I read, but now may have increased it to 68. And these three people do have a vote, although none of them are black females. So I don't have a lot of confidence this indicates how everyone's going to vote because I don't think the black females are going to vote the same way. All three think A'ja Wilson should get MVP, and they don't seem to think it's much open for discussion. They said if Wilson wasn't playing so otherworldly, the Minnesota Lynx' Fisa Collier might have taken home the MVP this summer, and she'll likely come in second place in the MVP voting. It said, with voters ranking in their top 5 MVP candidates on ballots, don't be surprised to see how players like Breanna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, and rookie Caitlin Clark finished in the top 5 as well. Rookie of the Year, they all three have for Caitlin Clark, and then they mentioned Reese.
Right.
And he did say Clark will almost certainly be named on some MVP ballots too. And so that's true. They give him that benefit. Does that mean that Clark will be unanimous pick for Rookie of the Year? They say she is on our panel, but some voters may vote for Chicago Sky Angel Reese, who averaged double-doubles and has the longest double-double streak in WNBA history and the single-season rebounding record. And then her season was cut short by the wrist injury. I don't think anybody should vote for her. And what do you think, Rob?
Unanimous is like we discussed in other videos, really hard. But that's what they're going to do. Of course, they're going to have some voters for Angel Reese, and for that reason, because she did have a phenomenal rookie season with rebounds. You can't fault that. So you got to put that in there. But so I know, but through the whole year, some people were, especially ESPN, were hemming and hawing to whether it was even that close. Some at one point had Reese ahead of Clark.
I don't see how you can vote for anyone but Caitlin Clark right now, and I think it's not going to be unanimous, but it should be. Yeah. And again, we don't know who all the voters are, and we don't know their makeup. So I don't know what's going to take place. They went for Coach of the Year. It was all three voted for Cheryl Reeve, which is despicable as she is. I agree with them. Minnesota wasn't expected to do as well as they did this year, and they're in second place, so I can see that makes sense that she's Coach of the Year. You want to comment on that, Rob?
Yeah, like I said, despite her disposition, she is a good coach. I've seen her games, some of the games, and she has a good plan. She's got her offense. She's got a motion offense, and then the players want to play defense. So and they can give they could win it. I mean, they beat the Liberty the other day, but I think they could give the Liberty a good matchup as far as the finals.
Defensive Player of the Year, all three of them voted for Nafisa Collier, even though that Asia Wilson is leading the league in blocks. But they all think she's a better defender. Sixth Player of the Year is Leonie Bibich for New York Liberty. 2 of them voted for that, and Tiffany Hayes from Las Vegas Aces got a vote. I don't have a strong opinion on that. Most Improved Player, it's interesting. One person gave Bridget Carlton, one person of the Minnesota Lynx, one person gave Kennedy Carter, Chicago Sky, and another person gave DeJanae Carrington. I don't know how Kennedy Carter gets Most Improved Player when she wasn't even in the league last year, even though she is an improved player from the last time she played in the league. So I don't know what the standard is for that. I want to go back up to the MVP, Rob. Who would you vote for the MVP?
Oh, Wilson. Definitely Wilson. Oh, yeah, definitely Wilson.
I agree. I got Clark third. And if she's not between second and fourth, I will be upset. We'll see what happens. And I don't have a problem with Asia Wilson winning. I just had a problem with them anointing her in week 1. I wanted her to earn it, and I think she's earned it. She's had a great year. Clark is more valuable in terms of making her teammates better, but she's also more inconsistent, and she has a lot of turnovers, and her defense isn't as strong. And Asia Wilson's numbers are huge, and the Aces are winning now, Rob. So they've been winning.
Wilson's on a mission this year. That's what you do. She got snubbed last year, so she says, "Oh yeah, well I'll show you," and then she made a point where she is balling out. I mean, she really is. She's doing great, rebounding, scoring, defense. Yeah, she actually is the most valuable player on the Aces, because if she's not playing, when she's out of the game, that's why when they were playing the Fever twice the other day, when she was out of the game, that's why I was hoping the Fever would take advantage of that, because she makes a big factor in the game. Right.
Although she does get the benefit of the calls from what I can see. She does get the special whistle.
She gets a veteran call.
Whatever call you want to call it, she gets it. She got 0 foul calls in the first game against him, and Aaliyah Boston got 6. You can read whatever you want into that, but I'm not convinced the refs didn't favor her. So on All NBA first team, Pelton had Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, Breanna Stewart, Caitlin Clark, and surprisingly, Kayla McBride. And we'll get to that. Felipe and Vogel had all the same players, except they had Alyssa Thomas instead of Kayla McBride. So all 3 of them had Caitlin Clark. That's a good sign. But like I said, none of these voters here are black females. And I don't think the black females are as likely to vote for Caitlin Clark in any of these categories. That's just the impression I get, Rob. But we'll see what happens. I don't know the makeup, like I said, again, of the 68 voters. But Kayla McBride does not belong in the first team if you look at her stats. I know she's a good defensive player, but that's kind of an insult to both Alyssa Thomas and Sabrina Ionescu. If you look up the stats, hers are clearly better than Kayla McBride. It's not even close. I have no idea what that person, Felton, likes about Kayla McBride's games so much, but I doubt she ends up first team All-Pro. Let's put it that way.
She should not, yeah.
I would have voted for either Alyssa Thomas or Sabrina Ionescu for my 5th person.
Me too. I probably would have also.
So, anyways, so let us know what you think. I think this is a good sign, but I wouldn't count your chickens before they're hatched in terms of her making the All-Pro first team, which I think she obviously deserves, and winning Rookie of the Year, which she obviously deserves, and getting MVP votes, which she obviously deserves. And I'd say between 2nd and 4th is fair. What do you think, Rob?
Right. They kind of made ESPN has finally made what they call that U-turn, and they've oh geez, Caitlin Clark is pretty good.
Yeah, they figured it out, Rob, after a whole season.
Yeah, some people take, they're like late bloomers. They sound like late bloomers.
So we'll see what happens. It's interesting that they mentioned second team All-Pro. I'm not sure why they did. They did a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I will be interested to see what the voting. The voting ends on Friday. They're going to announce the winners throughout the playoffs, like they do in the NBA. So not all the winners will be announced at one time, even though they'll know the results, I guess, by Saturday. So if it goes by email.
Mhm.
Anyways, let us know what you think about who you would vote for and what you think about their voting. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. We're going for 5,000 subscribers. We need your help. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And we're going to be live tomorrow night, and that is the 19th. Indiana Fever against the Washington Mystics, and that's at 7:30 on Prime Video. And our live show is going to be Monday from 6 to 8 Eastern Time, and the playoffs start on Sunday. So join us for those. If you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below, and there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.